What's up everybody, my name's Chance, and today we're going to be playing a Krenko Exaltation deck. Order triggers, they're going to pop up. You want to put your Angelic Exaltation in front of your Krenko, right? Because you want to make him big before this whole little ability triggers. So make him big, and then he makes all the gobos, right? So first let's swing in to see if they have some removal for right now. Obviously we could have played the Goblin Gathering if we wanted a little bit more damage, but I didn't want to go to the attack phase and then them remove Krenko. So now this deck idea was submitted to me by a viewer here on the channel and a long-time supporter of the channel. Actually, he shows up to most all of the live streams, tries to help chime in with all the drafts and all that, so super big supporter of the channel. Nonetheless, this deck comes, or at least the deck idea comes to us from Mac Far, who asked me, yo, can you try, or would you try, making a Krenko Angelic Exaltation deck? So I told him originally I was going to try for a Boros aggro version, or maybe a Naya version, as I could see that doing very well as well. But ultimately, I decided to go with the Goblin Tribal. I tried it out. This was literally the first deck that I tried with the combination, and it worked so well and so beautifully, and I figured, you know what, goblins don't get enough love. They certainly don't get enough love in the new standard meta when we have all these cool planeswalkers. It seems like everyone's forgotten about our little grueling goblin friends. So this deck is going to showcase just how strong these green beasts can really be. So yeah, we're going to hop right into the deck tech or the deck breakdown, and then we'll get right into the game. So starting us off, we have 3 copies of Crash Through, which gives all of our creatures trample and allows us to draw a card. This is fantastic for cycling itself out. 1 mana, it's not very expensive. Furthermore, say you have a Krenko and you manage to swing in with Angelic Exaltation and you just keep doing it, but they keep, I don't know, defending with Saporalings or zombies or whatever, you know, whatever unit they want to chum block you with. Crash Through helps them make a decision, you know, makes them really think, do I want to sacrifice all of my units so I can defend this one unit, or just take the trample damage? So it's a good way to break through enemy lines when you're at a standstill. So moving us down to another 1-drop, we have 3 copies of Fanatical Firebrand, a 1/1 that comes down with haste, and we can tap this creature and deal 1 damage to any target, so pretty good there. We have 2 copies of Skirk Prospector, with the ability to sacrifice a goblin and add 1 red mana. So this works wonders when you have your Angelic Exaltation or your Divine Visitation in hand, and say you're only sitting at 3 lands. Well, you sacrifice 2 goblins, pay all your mana, and you have a Divine for essentially only 3 mana, and 2 little, you know, maybe 2 little 1/1 goblins. You know, you sack out your Goblin Instigator and the creature token that it makes, and then there's the 2 extra mana you need. So Skirk Prospector, I'm sorry, really good in the deck, and I've even thought about going up to 3 or 4 copies just because that's really how key he is. So maybe we do go up to 1 copy, we go down 1 on the 10th Street Dodger, which is our next card in the deck, and an excellent one at that. It's a 1 mana 1/1 haste. So it has a very similar effect to Fanatical Firebrand. You throw it down, you swing in. However, this card gets really awesome when you do build up your Angelic Exaltation, and again, they have, you know, they have the board to defend against you. You pay 1 red mana, and this card can't be blocked by any creatures except with Defender. And let's be real, most people don't play Defenders. If you're up against a Defender-specific deck, obviously 10 Street's value is going to go way down. However, against most other decks, being able to become unblockable and then have a 7/7 unblockable, you know, it's really strong, really good value. So moving us down, we have Ye Old Faithful Goblin Instigator, 2 mana 1/1. Whenever it enters the battlefield, create another 1/1 red goblin creature token. So good at amassing our goblin army. Moving us down, we have 2 Tormenting Voices. This is to help us with card draw. We can discard a land, say we flooded a little bit, or discard maybe I don't know, a Firebrand if we really don't need it down. So it just helps us cycle through some of these cards. Moving us down, we do have 1 copy of Radiant Destiny to buff all of our goblins up, as well as try to give them vigilance. 4 copies of Goblin Gathering, and those of you that have watched my channel since back in Ravnica Allegiance know that I'm absolutely in love with this card. I love the effect. I love what it does, if that makes sense. Like every time you play it, you're making more and more and more goblins. Just an awesome card, awesome art. I just absolutely love this card. So moving us down, we have 3 copies of Goblin Warchief. So Goblin Warchief reads, Goblin spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Now this isn't going to affect Goblin Gathering, as it's not technically a Goblin card, even though Goblin's in the name. But all of your other Goblin cards will cost 1 less, minus your 1 cost cards, right? Because it can't reduce, you can't reduce the color mana that you have to pay, if that makes sense. So, and then furthermore, goblins you control have haste, so pretty awesome there. Then we move down to the Kingpin himself, Krenko. Now I do only have 2 copies, so if you have 3 or 4 copies, by all means throw them in here. And even 4 copies of Krenko is not too much. Most of the time with legendary creatures, you don't want to be playing 4 copies as they have a diminishing return. But here's the thing: say you get down to Krenko. Probably going to get shocked out, right? Probably going to die in some way, shape, or form. Nobody likes Krenko. He's super strong, especially in the right deck. So if you play 4 copies, don't worry about it. And even so, say you have 1 copy on the field and 3 copies in your hand, and your biggest problem is that 1 copy on the field won't die. I don't think that's really a big problem, right? You're making more and more goblins every turn. He's getting bigger and bigger, so having 3 copies in your hand just gives you a card to discard with Tormenting Voice. Or if he does get removed, there you go, you play another one. So yeah, Krenko, excellent card. You got 4 copies, throw them in here. Next we move down to 2 copies of Legion Warboss, the awesome Guilds of Ravnica card that came out at the beginning of your combat, or at the beginning of combat on your turn. I'm sorry, I should read it properly. Create a 1/1 attacking red goblin creature. It also has haste, obviously, if it's attacking. But this card works wonders with Divine Visitation. It works okay with Angelic Exaltation. Here's the thing with Angelic Exaltation: if you have Legion Warboss down and Krenko, that little 1/1 has to attack in, so it's going to get all of the Angelic Exaltation stacks. So it's kind of counterintuitive, right, to the initial deck. But it works so wonderfully. And if you ever need to get rid of Warboss, all you got to do is attack in with it, right? Nobody's gonna allow you to attack in with your Warboss and not trade up for it. It's just too much value. So moving us down, we have 4 copies of Angelic Exaltation, and yes, we do have 4 copies. They're a bit costly, however they do stack. So if you have 2 copies of Angelic Exaltation down, then whenever one of your creatures goes to attack, it's going to get the +X for every creature you control, plus another +X for every creature you control, essentially doubling the size of whatever creature you had. Then moving down, we have 2 copies of Goblin Trashmaster for 2 mana and 2 red mana. Other goblins you control get +1/+1. Furthermore, we can sacrifice a goblin and destroy target artifact, which works wonders against the new Golgari Citadel deck that I've been seeing so much of, because Boros' Citadel is an artifact, and so the ability to sacrifice a goblin, not even pay any mana, just sacrifice a goblin and destroy Boros' Citadel, a 6 mana card, that's just huge. That's awesome and excellent, and yeah, just really fun, especially since we've been seeing artifacts more and more here recently in the meta. So yeah, Goblin Trashmaster, really good. Then we do have 1 copy of Divine Visitation, as I think it actually works really well with goblins, right? We have 4 copies of Goblin Gathering, which only creates tokens. We have Goblin Instigator, again tokens. We have Legion Warboss, tokens. Krenko, tokens. So we have the means to make these angels, or these Goblin Angels, whatever you want to call them, Siege Gang Commander tokens. So again, this is very fitted for the deck. Moving us down, we have 2 copies of Siege Gang Commander. I actually thought about going down because we can amass zombies. We can amass goblins a little bit quicker, actually, kind of without them, if we just lower the cost of our deck. But our big problem is 3 drops. So if you want to try and make some room here, you could take out all copies of Goblin Gathering. I know it's a bit expensive for the first 2. Well, the second one's okay. You get 3 goblins, right, instead of just 2. But the first time you play the card, it seems very lackluster. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the deck tech or the deck breakdown. And now we're gonna hop right into the games. Alrighty, here we are in a game 1 up against. Whoa, the name disappeared. I think it's Bloecker, Bloker. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. this is a terrible starting hand, but I want this combo more than anything, so I'm definitely going to keep it, right? I'm not going to trade away when I see a Krenko and an Angelic Exaltation in hand, even if I have 3 Angelic Exaltations in hand. You're not getting me to come off of my combo, damn it. So let's throw down the 10th Street Dodger. Next turn we'll get down Krenko. The Kingpin. We'll have the 10th Street just pretty much wrapped up, right? Ooh, Boros Guildgate really isn't what we wanted to see there, right? I wanted an untapped land. Thank you, Magic. That's what I was looking for. Maybe this turn it'll give us... I don't know if I want to untap land. Do I? We'll be up to 5 and we'll have enough mana for Divine Visitation, which could always be nice. Don't tell me you're playing a Seal Away bloker. You know? That would be awful. Up against a Boros deck. Awesome. I do like mirror matches. I do. So let's see what they go for. Tajik. Legion's Edge. I actually don't like that because Tajik can kill our Krenko. So hopefully we do get an untapped land. I can play it, play the Angelic Exaltation, and then Krenko will be too big for the Tajik. Oh no, they're swinging in. Fantastic. No, I'm not going to block that. You're crazy. Okay, so Goblin Instigator's okay as well, as it does make our Angelic Exaltation swing in next turn that much bigger. And we just got down 2 more goblins thanks to Krenko. So now you are really about to see the power. Also, if you don't have this checked, make sure you go into your gameplay and make sure you uncheck auto-ordered triggered abilities. And you'll see why here in just a second, if we can get our combination to go off. So sure, let's defend out 1. They were probably keeping back mana just in case, defended with 2 Gobbos, so that way they could pay for the first strike, which may not have been a bad idea, right? But I'm trying to get as many Gobbos down as I can. Ooh, and they played something that actually allows me to attack in. Okay, so here is what I'm talking about. Order triggers. They're going to pop up. You want to put your Angelic Exaltation in front of your Krenko, right? Because you want to make him big before this whole little ability triggers. So make him big, and then he makes all the Gobbos, right? So we're swinging in, we just made 8 more. That means that next turn, when we go to attack, instead of being an 8-9, add 8 to that, 16, plus the 1 from Krenko, so it'll be at 17. So next turn when we swing in, we're going to create 17 goblins, on top of the 9 that we've already, or 10 that we've already created. So that'll be up to 27. Don't kill my Krenko, come on. I'm having fun. This is a game 1, and I got the combo to go off. I kept a super risky hand, but it's paying off, so, you know. Just don't have the answer. Okay, they're going to try and take us out in the sky. What do I say? You know what? I am going to block with 2, so if they want to keep their Tajik alive, yeah, they're going to pay the 2. That gives them a little bit less mana to work with, and I don't want to block them with 5, which is what it would take, right? Oh, they're just gonna scoop. No, come on. 1 more attack with Krenko, that's all I wanted. Maybe I shouldn't have blocked with the goblins. Maybe that's what put them over the edge. Well, at least at least y'all got to see the combo go off in game 1 and not even that far into game 1. So yeah, we'll pick up that victory and we'll move right into a game 2. Alrighty, LaFleur is going to be our next opponent. Well, I see a Krenko, I'm going to keep it. I like to think I'm a simple man in that aspect. Having Tormenting Voice is nice, because we already have the 2 planes that we'll need to throw down Divine Visitation if we get it. Which just means that we can really... Now, obviously, I could have thrown down a Goblin Warchief first there. Alright, that was odd. I kept clicking all attack, but it wouldn't all attack. But yeah, I could have thrown down Goblin Warchief there if I was afraid of them removing Krenko, but honestly, I'd rather get Krenko down before they get up to... yeah, something like that, like a Thought Erasure, where they could have made me discard the Krenko. So sure, make me throw away the Goblin Warchief, because that's what's definitely happening here. Alright, at least we will get to swing in with the Krenko though, so that's a good feeling, right? And we'll throw down the Boros, we'll throw down a Tormenting Voice, and I think we get rid of the planes. We can play most cards in our deck. Oh, another Krenko and a Goblin Warchief. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and swing in with everything here. We'll get some extra Gobbos down. We can go ahead and get down a Warchief, which I kind of like the idea of, but we've just sacked out these two Goblins. So, oh, I wish you could select as many Goblins as you wanted to once you activate it, right? Alright. Now, hopefully, fingers crossed, they don't just immediately remove the Krenko. Oh, they don't. Fantastic. So first let's swing in to see if they have some removal for right now. Obviously we could have played the Goblin Gathering if we wanted a little bit more damage, but I didn't want to go to the attack phase and then them remove Krenko, so that's why we waited there. But yes, it could have been 2 extra damage. They could be down at 8 right now. Although we're at what, 3, 5, 6, 7, we're pretty close to having lethal on them. Airplane Esper. Ooh, Radiant Destiny. That's a for sure go. And we also get the Vigilance effect. Okay, LaFleur just gonna scoop. They've seen enough. Our Krenko was about to make 5 more goblins there. All of our goblins are 2/2s or 3/3s. So, yeah, awesome. This deck is really playing out awesomely. Most of the time, I don't even get to finish my combo, which is kind of the biggest depressing thing about it all, right? Nonetheless, we'll go and hop into a game 3. Miko Surge is going to be our 3rd and final opponent. I mean, this hand has potential. I'm a little bit scared, but it has potential. We can use the Skirk and sack out all these useless Gobbos and get down our Warboss, or hopefully a Krenko. Alrighty, Miko, whatever your name is. Let's get this show on the road. So I can, of course, go for a turn 2 Legion Warboss, which is a nice play. I think I just may. They're going for the Land of War. Yeah. Hopefully they don't have a shock here. No shock? Fingers crossed? Be a nice player? Blee. God damn it. I can't talk. Be a nice player, please. I'm guessing that's where the blee came from. Be and please. Uh-oh, Nisa's Triumph. A card I've actually yet to see in Standard. Yeah, I think Goblin Warchief is definitely worth it. Swing in with everyone, pump our little Gobbos. This just feels like classic Goblins, right? Where's my Krenko? He would be so fantastic right now, actually. Throw him down, he has haste, we spawn up 2 more Goblins, which, interesting little note, you can never attack with the Krenko Goblins that you make. Because obviously you make them as a result of attacking with Krenko, so a bit unfortunate there. However, we can play a Goblin Gathering. Do we want to? I think so, just in case we find another one. Okay. Alright, that's how we want to swing in. Yeah, we're going to lose a 2/2 to a 5/5. But past that, we're going to get in with, what, 4, 5, 6 damage, bringing them down to 6. Which means we got to have lethal on board, just with the good old-fashioned Goblin beatdown, which kind of feels, you know, feels right. We beat them with our initial combo, then we beat them with just Krenko, and now it looks like we're going to win with just classic Gobbos. Yeah, I think we actually win here, just because they did that. So, no blocks, and we say GG. I was really hoping for the Krenko. What do y'all say? Oh. I was gonna say, what do y'all say we play the Crash through and we give it one more go and try and get the Krenko? I guess our opponent said no. That's okay. So, I hope you all enjoyed the video today. First, I would like to say, should probably put this in the description as well. Don't spend your rare and mythic wildcards trying to build this deck. If you want to spend your rare wildcards on a Krenko, that's fine. But don't try to craft this specific Goblin deck. I would recommend a more suitable Boros aggro deck that's not so tribal-y and not so janky. I just figured since Goblins don't get enough love, and I personally love Goblins anytime that they can be a deck, I would show this version first. However, tomorrow I will be coming out with another, let's say, more competitive, or at least a little bit more competitive version of this deck, because I think that the Krenko Angelic Exaltation combo is actually insane, and I think that there's something really, really nice there. So yeah, that's gonna, I guess, be a little preview for tomorrow, and that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like down below and a comment in the comment section. If you have any way that I can improve this Goblin tribal, be sure to leave a suggestion. Also, if you're new here, consider subscribing. We're over 1100, which is kind of crazy because, like, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday I hit 1,000, and now we're over 1100, which is just awesome. The channel is it's really growing, and it's really, really awesome to see. So that's gonna do it. Until tomorrow or later tonight, peace.